Born in 46, raised up in the sticks, somewhere in North Carolina.
Right, good morning, welcome back. Okay, today's fun and games will involve this. This is a Triumph Bonneville gear shifter from my friend's bike. Now, she bought this a long time ago for the main reason it's adjustable in a way that the factory ones are not. If you know your factory gear shifter from a Bonneville, they go straight onto the output shaft from the gearbox. The spline is either there or it's there. It's one tooth, and if it's too low, you take it off, you put it up on the next tooth, and that's all you get, there or there. There's nothing in between. Now, if you know the normal gear shifter on most bikes, it has that little rod that you turn with opposing threads on the end, and as that squeezes in and out, you get absolutely infinite, super fine adjustment. Well, Motone, which is what this product is, they designed this to have a little slot. It's a two-part gear shifter. It's got that part, you can kind of see it there. It's got like an inner brace and then the outer lever. And they put a little slot just here, and that adjusts up and down. So you put it onto the spline that's closest to what you want, and then what it gives you is with the loosen of that screw, you can adjust that up and down by, if you look at the end here, what we got, 1/2 inch or so. Now I know from experience with Penny's bike that if you put that on and then you come down one or up one on the spline tooth, it is nearly an inch adjustment. So that adjustment of 1/2 inch gives you a fine tuning for the lever. And where it works for my friend, her situation is that on a really sunny day she'll wear lightweight boots which are thinner. On a really cold wet day she'll wear thick, heavier, more winter boots, and that gives it a little bit too close, so she needs it up a bit, but it's too much, it's too high if she puts it up on the next spline. So that halfway adjustment is excellent for making it perfect for riding in either of her choice of footwear. The other side of it is, for her point of view, that is easy. Just to loosen that, adjust it up, tighten it up, job done. Rather than messing around taking the actual linkage off and worrying about whether it's refitted correctly. She's not mechanically minded, but that is extremely easy. So that's why she wants to keep it and not just change it for another one. But she's got a couple of complaints with it. One is that these sharp, harsh edges have always been a little bit ugly and a little bit kind of half finished. They could be rounded, look a bit nicer, so we'll get into that today. Also the powder coat's chipping. It could be because it's on a sharp edge, and on that part of it, where the boot touches, and sometimes you put your boot in too far, that's chipped off there. So we'll deal with that, make that look nice for her. The other thing, the biggest complaint, is this little blob on the end. This is just what Motone decided to put in as the end foot peg. If I just take this off, the cleverness in this is in that, and I like that a lot. That's a really clever piece of engineering, very simple and straightforward. That's not so clever though. That's got such aggressive and harsh knurling on the end, it's causing problems. If I just grab this little chips brush, give it some of that. This is just a wooden brush. Make sawdust. Look at that. That is tearing the life out of her best boots. This is just too aggressive. I think it's slightly an oversight on Motone's part. It's great to have knurling because it's great for grip when you're pressing down, but remember you go underneath and lift up. That would be great for a brake pedal, but I think it's no good for a gear shifter because you're lifting underneath and it's done quite a lot of damage to the leather on the top of her bike boots. So we're going to take that out of it today, get rid of that knurling, thin it down a little bit because it's quite clumsy as well, visually and physically. To come from under it to over it is a bigger action if it's too thick. So we'll make that a little bit thinner and easier to use. So there we are, that's today's fun and games. Make that look much nicer, make that look less aggressive and doing less damage. So let's get on with it. Welcome back. Alright, well, it would appear that what's on there is tougher than it looks, even though it's chipped off in most of these places. The actual flat part is still quite tough and resilient. I don't know whether it's paint, powder coat, but it's certainly not anodizing, so that's going to come off. We'll just have to try a different tack.
Smoking homemade cigarettes, soaking up the sunshine, dancing in the moonlight, sharing good times with his friends. One last liquor run, then he said he was done, living the good life in the hills.
Right, I've been given kind of carte blanche with this, just to make a nice job of it. I quite like it in silver, it's quite nice. But not that scratchy brushed finish. It needs polishing if it's going to be anything. And it needs some roundness as well. That is too square. It looks like it's just been machined, which is nice in some senses, but as you know, the Bonneville Scrambler series of bikes, they're all very rounded. Everything's very rounded. If you look at the factory one that I refurbed a little while ago on Penny's, it's all rounded, the whole thing. So that just doesn't fit in with that look. So next thing, let's round off some of this angularity. There's a word for it.
Found him guilty of nothing more than shine. The day of 30 years didn't even draw a tear, 'cause he knew he'd never return. Somewhere in North Carolina. Spend a lifetime.
Right, now I think you'll agree, that looks a whole heap better. Already. I think we'll get the polisher out and get some mirror going on. I think that would look lovely. Looks much nicer now, don't you think? I think she'll like that. Now, even though I said it's a black engine that she's got, it's a black engine on Penny Scrambler, and if you remember, the gear shifter is polished alloy, so I think that'll look quite nice. And of course, if she doesn't like it, I'm happy to paint it black, not an issue. But I think that'd be a shame. It's quite nice. Awesome. Right, now, as you probably know, if you've ever done it, metal polishing is about the dirtiest thing you'll ever do in your garage. So I'm going to get cleaned up and then get on with the next bit. Nice. Right, there we are. Index, as they say. Job done. I am very, very happy with that, indeed. Now, hands up at the back who remembers Sundance pegs. Remember? Back in the 1970s, one of the custom parts you could commonly buy was a Sundance foot peg, and they were basically ridges like this with O-rings slotted in them. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. At work I've got some rubber O-rings, 5 little rubber rings, and they'll go nice and neatly in those grooves, and that will give a rubber grip at the same time as looking really nice. So there we are, a Sundance peg on a Motone aircraft grade billet adjustable Bonneville gear shifter. That is a really, really nice result. At no point did I think it was going to come out as well as that. It could be attributed to the quality of this aluminium. It is extremely smooth, extremely hard. Taking that knurling off with the lathe, it was really complaining. So that's proper hard, high grade billet. So that's going to last a long time, and I reckon it will dull down in use once it gets rain on it and so on, but that's what it's all about. When it gets fitted, it's going to look bling. There we are. Hope you like that. I really enjoyed today. 4:45, a full day doing something meaningful for a very special friend. There we are. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all your kind advice and guidance. Thank you, Jim, for more parts and equipment. I really appreciate that, sir. And of course to all of you for your encouragement in this, in learning how to use this. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do things wrong, and I hope to do that so I can learn from it. So any advice or guidance you have, if it's polite, respectful and constructive, I welcome it all the way, because I am not a machinist, I'm not a lathe turner, I'm certainly no engineer, I'm just a humble mechanic, and that is what it turned out today. There we are. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, ride safe. See you next time.
I had a friend who lost that 5-car draw. He always seemed to be the one that would draw the short straw. He had bad luck.